Welcome to the Lizzie Show. This is such a great day. The absolute opposite of yesterday. But I told you, I said, tomorrow I'm not going to complain because I have off tomorrow. There's nothing to complain about. The stock market of my brain, of my consciousness is right up here because I have a 1-day weekend coming up, followed by a Friday, followed by 2 more days off. What is more glorious and exciting than that? Nowhere to go tomorrow, no obligations, don't have to drive anywhere, don't have to go anywhere, don't have to do anything. But wake up when I want, do what I want, and be with my inside cat and my outside cat. My inside cat and my outside cat. I got an inside cat and an outside cat. Yeah. Yeah. Woo! I am happy. Now, as a philosophical woman, I do understand that this feeling, I embrace it. Because right behind it will be another feeling that won't be this high and excited naturally, organically. This is what life is. It is about feeling multiple emotions based on different events in your life, whether you do or do not have them. For me, my 1-day weekend is enough. Tomorrow, it's gonna be great. Oh, there's a cop over there. I gotta pull over. It's not me. He pulled someone else over. Wait a minute. Do I keep going? Hold on a second. Here, you gotta go like 30 miles an hour. Okay, you pulled someone else over. Imagine if I got pulled over. That would have definitely not made me happy. That would have been no good. But let's get back to how I hope that my events yesterday felt good. I had such a good day. I have so much to tell you. Wait a minute, you can probably see the cop. No, you can't see the cop in the background. He's pulling someone over. I'm still talking about the cop. Oh, he pulled someone else over. You got to be careful. You know, in these little zones, in these towns where it says 30, 35, you better do just 30, 35 because they will pull you over and they will give you a ticket. And I do not want a ticket and I do not want to be held up in time by getting pulled over. So I do the limit. All right. Today was a great day. I felt rested. I was excited because I knew I have off tomorrow. My inpatients were good, and I had one patient who had a smile on his face that he was almost like if Sesame Street became an actual person, that's who he was. He just was staring me in the eye, just smiling, happy, and he was so grateful that, first of all, it was an ultrasound because he's pre-op, because he has a vascular disease and they're going to take a foot off. But he's so appreciative that they're just going to cut above the ankle, not above the knee. A smile on this guy's face. He was so grateful. And the whole time I was doing his scan, he was just talking words of wisdoms and affirmations. And I don't know, some people, it's like he was sent to me from God. And then, I'm not kidding you, he said, before you go, can I say a prayer for you? I said, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, let me just back up. When I lived in New York City and I grew up, now I had a good life. Me and my mother, good life, right? I was always a little envious of my best friend. She had 3 sisters. I mean, I'm not perfect. I always kind of wished I had like a big family. But nevertheless, still, I had a good life. I'm not going to compare. This is my situation. I was always like hardcore atheist. Why? You know, now that I'm older, I mean, you just look around, there's something. Whatever name you want to give it, give it. There is something. Anyway. And I always reach for that something or call out to that something when I'm sad or when I'm in need or when I feel like I need a miracle. So anyway, this guy said a prayer for me and I closed my eyes. This is once the exam is done. And it was such a nice prayer. And then when we were done with that prayer, I added one more thing to the test to complete it. And I said, before I go, can I get you anything? He said, can I say one more prayer for you? And I said, do you mind saying a prayer for Milo, my cat, and then my indoor cat? I want them to get along. I know it sounds silly. I go, so he said the sweetest prayer, Amen, for Milo, that he would be okay in the cold, that him and little mama would get along, that he would have a happy life. And he did it with so much love and so much heart. You know, I'm going to tell you something. There are good people and bad people out there. I've seen them both, but the bad people, you can't take it personally because you don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they're going through. You have to let it roll off of you. Because I'll have a day where I have some negative people enter my field of existence, my field of interaction, and you can either choose to let it affect you, or you can be such a bright force that it doesn't affect you at all. If you're on a low vibrational wave, it might affect you. If you're on a high vibrational wave, it can't meet you there because you're too high, right? Energies meet. So, and I'm sure you've had this happen, where you're on such a high vibration, maybe you could call it you're having a happy day, a good day, a great day, that someone who's really sad, depressed, angry, for whatever reason, comes into your realm, into your environment, and they can't affect you at all. Now change that to another day, where you're at that same level, maybe even worse. And you have to hold yourself back from saying something, doing something, escalating the situation. Which brings us all back to escalating a situation. Let's stop escalating things. We don't need, do you guys know what I'm talking about? We need to stop. We need to talk. Because we have language, we're humans, we can negotiate, we can figure things out. So anyway, from one day to the next, but I'm going to tell you, it goes like this. We are all just feeling beings. The way you feel dictates what? What does it dictate? How you think, back to how you feel, it just like goes back and forth. And feelings constantly change. Yesterday when I was venting, today I was happy to go to work, right? Some days I'm not in the mood, but that's part of it. There's no way every day you're going to be in the mood. You're organic. You're an organic being. You are not a robot. You're not a robot. You are not programmed. Do you want to be programmed? Does everyone just want to be programmed to be the certain way, the same way? What would be the point? Huh? What would be the point if everybody and everything was programmed to be the same, act the same, do the same? No. We can be nicer to each other. You don't need better health. You just need better people. Taking a sip to that. Just pure water. That was good. Then I have my coworker who comes in. She comes in to help out. She's so sweet. She comes in. She drives a Porsche. She lives in a mansion. She's retired. And she doesn't even have to work. Bravo. Bravo. Me, I got a car over 20 years old. I rent. And I got the neighbors across the street calling the cops at 2 a.m. But that's okay. I'm a winner in my own right. Because it's not the material things that matter. It's the spiritual awareness that we have. And honestly, I take that back. She deserves all those material things because she's not a freeloader. She earned it. Her whole family is educated. They all work hard. They earned it. They're not just taking, they're giving. Which is the point of life. Even though there's some days we don't want to give because we're going back to the feelings, the emotions. Emotionally we're drained, but other side. We're gonna sit and get bed sores and sofa sores from sitting too long. Remember when they had everybody staying home? I remember when the gyms closed down. I quit my job and I just ran in the park. That was awesome. I loved that. Now I won't run in the park anymore because the gyms are back open and I have a gym in my basement. So yeah, it was a really good work day. But the day is still fresh. I'm going to Menards and I'm going to buy some kind of heater for outside to face in the direction of Milo's house. That's another thing, Mike. I love these days where I know I have the next day off. I don't have to be in bed by a certain time. I could stay up a little bit later. The joys, the joys. Another thought that I was having is if I don't have music on or I'm not listening to a podcast, I will just think. And as I'm thinking in my head, I'm having thoughts. I'm like, who hears me? Does anyone know what I'm thinking? And what are thoughts made of? What? It's so mysterious because I'm using a language that you could understand to hear me, but before I speak it, it's a thought. So my thoughts are so fast that they're able to be transmitted into words that you could understand, that I'm able to use an audible tone to transmit to you through this screen. It is so wild how magnificently mysterious and intelligently we have been designed or created. Not just us, about 8.7 to 9 trillion other species. We're the winners. 99.9% of life on this earth has been extinct. The 1% left is the 1% that has survived and thrived through 5 extinctions that we have had on this earth. Yeah. It blows your mind. Because now you're saying, not only am I lucky to be here, because all my pertinent ancestors were good looking enough to find a mate when they did, but also there was the right mass extinction to let my pertinent ancestor come to be, and now here I am me. I am me. I was watching these 2 guys on YouTube. I'm actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll try to put the link here. Otherwise, I'll put it in my post. They're growing. They're very good. They're these 2 guys from Brooklyn, and they do a podcast talking about very intellectual things. But you know what brought me to the channel? It was titled like this: 100 hours of meditation. And it's a certain type of meditation that you and I could do. And when I link their video, you can check it out. It's 10 days, 10 hours, you meditate. No phone. You have only your thoughts. You have your body. You have your mind. You have 3 meals. You have a place to sleep. You have a toilet. And you have 10 days of just meditating. I'll drink to that. Not that I could do it, but I would love the challenge, I think. Because I'm gonna link it. So good, so good. It's called brain surgery, okay? Because you have no distractions. Time slows down. It feels like an eternity. For all of us, time feels like it's fleeting. It's gone because we have so many distractions. There's never a dull moment in our life. I mean, there's always something to watch or look at, right? Something to do. Now, imagine for 10 hours a day, closing your eyes about the breath between the nose and the upper lip. That's the first 3 days. Do you want to know what the hardest part is of that? Which I think a lot of you are thinking, yeah, that would be hard. The hardest part is sitting still. And these two guys, one in particular, was describing the pain in his legs. How at about 40 minutes in or 42 minutes in, his legs were burning. Now, mind you, he still has 9 hours left? 9 hours and some change? And it was so painful. But still, him and his brother from Brooklyn kept meditating. And this was the first 3 days where it was just focusing on the breath between the nose and the lips. That's it. That was just the first 3 days. And then the 4th day, you were doing deep dive into your mind and into the fact that you have to acknowledge that you are not your thoughts. Also, that everything passes. Nothing is permanent. Nothing. Your thoughts aren't permanent. The way you feel isn't permanent. And you obviously know that all the material things are not permanent. The most beautiful car you have one day will turn to rust. The food, it looks so good, you're gonna eat it, it's gone. Time to fantasize about the next meal. The highs you have, like I'm having right now, it'll dissipate, it'll go away. I'll have negative feelings about whatever, that'll go away too. If you have the awareness and the enlightenment to know that no matter what happens, you must just stay here and accept it. Accept the good, accept the bad. That's really one of the benefits of doing this meditation. Also, while people were there is no interaction, no talking, and no looking at the other participants who were also there meditating. Now, from their interpretation, by day 8, it felt like an eternity. Day 8, they still had 2 more days left. They said it was the most difficult thing they've ever done, ever. Do you think you can do it? You can do it. I'm going to leave a link to their channel, because then they leave a link to places you can go to do this meditation. I won't say it because I don't know how to say the meditation, but it goes way back to before Jesus was born, Buddha, and how he lived in a mansion, a beautiful, or a palace. Let's call it a palace. But when he stepped out of the palace and he saw the suffering of people, it bothered him. And as they say, he sat under a tree and just meditated. This is before Jesus. So it's based on that premises that, well, the one and only, the original Buddha, the original, right? And sometimes, it's not a challenge like walking and like if you walk and you think, it's different. If you walk and you're looking around, it's peaceful. But if you're just sitting and your eyes are closed, what do you think about? And your thoughts will bounce around from very deep to very superficial. And you will also have thoughts that if you would put them side by side would not look alike, if you know what I mean. The mind, the neurons, the thoughts, we all have different ways of thinking over some train tracks. Some people like to go over slow. I like to go fast. This person's going slow. Will I let it upset me? No. Because I have to accept it. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I mean, the hardest thing for me would be the burning legs, sitting there. I would be so uncomfortable. I could just, because even in real life, if I'm sitting too long, I don't like it. I gotta get up. When I do ultrasound, I stand. The whole time I stand. People are like, oh, you want to sit? Do you want to sit? Sit. I'm like, no, I don't want to sit. I like to stand. I went to work today with a wrinkled shirt, and I don't care. I figured it would unwrinkle itself, and it did. Namaste. Who cares, right? I'm going to do another video with Milo later. Depending. If I don't do one today, I'll do one for Thanksgiving because it might get dark out. Because I'm going to Menards, I gotta find some stuff for him to keep him warm. I hope I find something. I also got him this furry little warm blanket at the pet store. He'll like that. And some nice, good organic food, baby. And churro. Man, he loves that churro. I don't know. I'm just interested by people. People interest me. Because if I was just by myself alone on this earth, what would what would be the point? Who am I going to talk to? If you can't know who to talk to, there's no point. I mean, it's like you're an empty vessel if there's no one to reflect ideas on. I find other people's ideas and the way they think very interesting. Very. Today was a good day. Tomorrow's going to be an even better day. And Friday, I don't care. It's Friday. I'll make the best of it. It's Friday. On Friday. But I am definitely feeling grateful and thankful. And I have to remember to not get into the pit of becoming ungrateful. Because it's very easy. Also, I want to mention something else. I'm going to go there. I'm going to say it. I'm going to mention it. I'm going to discuss it. A lot of things in life, I have one, you know what? Let me just say this. There are people who, by the way, I'm at a stop sign and there's a truck. I'm going to let the truck driver go. You know what I mean? Go, trucker, go. You know what I mean? All right. Everyone is born into a different life, a different situation. You could be born as an only child to a single mother. You could be born one of 5 to a good mother and father. You could be born to parents that are not that great and you end up in foster care and you struggle. You could end up with good parents, but then they become ill and then now you're left to the world. You could be born to good people but in the wrong place. Like everything in life as a human is so random. So you really do have to be grateful for what you have. If you had, and then there are some people who've not had the basics of a good childhood in life and yet still are compassionate people, empathetic people, good people, go on to do great things with their life. And then you'll have the same situation with a different person, and they might be a sociopath and do harm to others. But that's the mystery, and that's also the numbers. When you do numbers, if you have 1,000 people and put them into the same exact situation, they're all going to react differently. You can have 5 kids born into the same home, same mother, same father, same environment. They turn out completely different, right? One's an alcoholic, one's a doctor, one's a superstar, one's a serial killer. Why? There's a lot of whys in life. Why, if human beings are so highly intelligent, are the people that are at the peak of the governing bodies of the world making the most unintelligent decisions that most good people are against and don't accept? This world called Earth that was given to us should not be disgraced by war. We can sit and talk it out. That's why we were given language. Huh? Talk it out. Discuss it. Figure it out. We do not need to use missiles. We do not need to use bombs. Now, I'm not using a bomb. You're not using a bomb. But the people, I'm not going to name names, are throwing bombs, flinging bombs. Why? Why? We shouldn't even have the bombs. Like, we shouldn't even have a lot of things that destroy and make it more difficult for human beings to exist. Why are we giving ourselves more problems? We already have enough problems with nature and natural things that go wrong. Why are we giving ourselves more problems? I say, to the truly evil people, give them the black pill that they give the astronauts in space and just put them to sleep. What do we need them here for? It would be like if you had a dog with rabies who is angry and is going to bite the 90-year-old across the street. No, you put him to sleep. Because obviously, if that dog with rabies is going to do more harm than good, that's the right thing to do. I'm trying to use an analogy here, okay? Like, we let too many things, like the evil, we let the evil slide. We need to get rid of the evil. Because good and evil exist. They really do. And I'm curious as to why. This is all questions. I have no answers. Why? Because I'll tell you what the meaning of life is. It's very simple. I have the meaning of life. Where are we at here? 28 minutes? 29 minutes. 29 minutes. I'm going to tell you what the meaning of life is. Are you ready? It's very simple. Very easy. Very necessary. It is something that you get every day. Nourishment. Food. Water. That is the meaning of life. That is it. Did I disappoint you with the answer? I am Lizzie the wise one. I give you the meaning of life. It's food. That's it. Because your body, your trillions of cells, your heart that beats without you even asking it to, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, your spleen, your cells, your organs, your thyroid, your hair, your eyes, your lips, your thoughts, all require just one thing: nourishment. Nourishment is the reason for life. After that, human beings make it so complicated because we're able to feed ourselves now. yourself? Don't. From dust to sweet dust. Eat the sweetness. Enjoy. Go for a walk. Have a cake pop. I do. Enjoy. Now, if the world went the way I wanted it to go, we would have no bombs, no missiles, and if people wanted to really, really just not talk it out, go back to the swords. That's right, and you'll need a swordsman to make you a sword. What do they call those? Back in the olden times, what did they call them? Anyway, so, hey, go in the field, get your swords, get your shield, just get out there, man. Get out there, go, fight. No bystanders, right? Set up the time and the place. But let's just start with no bombs, no missiles. Let's just start with that. And make sure everybody eats. Because la vida es comida. La vida es comida. La vida es comida. You know what that means? My little bit of Spanish. Life is to eat, right? La vida, life, is comida, eat. Am I saying that right? La vida es comida. La vida es comida. La vida es comida. Look at me. I'm on a high vibe. I'm coming up with stuff that is blowing my mind. I came up with a rhyme that makes sense, not even in my language. And that came from the thoughts in my head. And I don't even know what they're made of. I gotta go around this thing. When the giant gardeners on the road. All right, buddy. Thank you. You see him. You see him behind me. No, you can't see him behind me. Maybe you can't see him behind me. You like that? Go sing that. Maybe you're Spanish. Maybe you're half Spanish. La vida es comida. La vida es comida. Con. Whatever. That's it. That's where it ends. Yeah. I'm half Italian, half Spanish. But the Spanish is from Spain. Because my mother, she went to Spain to learn the language and she became a Spanish teacher. But my dad, loca en la cabeza, nunca normal, he stayed in Spain. What are you going to do? My mother was brokenhearted. Maybe that's why she was, no, that is why she was depressed. That's why she was depressed. Otherwise, I would have had brothers and sisters. But again, everyone's tragedy is relative to themselves. Now, there's probably a million different reasons why you could be sad, depressed. There's so many different reasons, That's why, what's his name? Tony Robbins. He does these 8-hour, motivations, but he will deal with people who have the most tragic, awful things that happen to them that I wouldn't even know what to say. I'd be like, I'm so sorry. But, that's the part of life that's unfair. Because the truth is this. I'm at a stop sign. And the truth, excuse me, let me drink some water. The truth is this. If you prevented humans from making the wrong decisions, I'm not going to go into all of them. You have a brain and thoughts. You know what they all are. From the very bad to the very, 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 very extremely bad to the you wish you never heard it so bad. Do it to each other. We need to stop. Stop it. Cut it out. Get yourself some help. Or take the black pill that they give the astronauts in space just in case their helmet comes off of their head and they don't want to get sucked inside out by space. Huh? I have all the answers, people. Come to me, I'll give you the answers. It's not too radical because got to get rid of the evil. Got to get rid of the evil. Keep the good. We can keep a little bit of crazy. Good crazy. Positive crazy. But get rid of the evil. As soon as it shows itself, you're gone. What are we keeping you here for? For what? So you could do more evil? So you could come into my world or my animal's world or another fellow human being who's very good and hurt them in their world? No, I don't think so. But that might be the Sicilian in me coming out. Mafia, Lizzie. My mom, she was vicious. She was Italian. She was vicious. I'm like low key compared to her. Yeah. She was tough. I mean, she didn't let anyone get away with anything. But the thing is, she was highly intelligent. She knew how to speak. She used her words, that she knew how to really get her point across. So it was very hard to have an argument with her because she really knew how to put me in my place. She put me in my place. Now she's in another world, another universe, another dimension. But she gave birth to me so I could be here for you. Yeah. She decided to have me. You know. She was fun. I miss hanging out with her though. She was a lot of fun. She would laugh. She would think everything I did was funny. You know? But again, that goes up to me being lucky. And I never felt unlucky. Like I never felt sorry for myself. I never felt like I was lacking. Honestly, my heart broke for her that she didn't have her husband and the love of her life. That he just disappeared and never came back from Spain. And yeah, every now and then, I'm like, it would have been nice to have a nice father, but I never felt bad for myself. It's like, that was my destiny. That was my destiny. That's what I was born into. I was there to make my mother happy and make her laugh and take care of her. I couldn't help. This guy, had, issues for whatever reason. I think he's gone too. I think he passed away too. I think. He was 8 years older than my mother. And he had a twin named Marie. And I have her number. It's a landline in Seville. But I don't speak Spanish. So, and then I called. There's no answer. So what are you going to do? They don't care. Whatever. I'd like to meet them though, but it's alright. I believe in spirits in multiple dimensions, and maybe they both passed away and they're talking in another realm. Today I'm high vibes. I'm not worried about anything. I'm here to bring entertainment, to talk a little bit, not to give doom and gloom. The earth is still here. Everything's good. Let's just stop the bombs. Stop the bombs. Stop the missiles. And I just gave you the meaning of life. Because have you ever been hungry? Have you ever been starving? Starvation is the worst pain possible. Ask Stalin. He's not here to tell you, but he did it to his people. So did a lot of other dictators. Listen, humanity. Next time some dictator tries to dictate you, turn around and push him off a cliff. Because there's way more of us than there is of that one crazy human being. Trying to starve us? No way. Don't let them control our thoughts. Let us turn against each other. Family, friends. No. We need to have each other's back, no matter what. Well, I'm feeling great. One thing I want to say, very trivial, no big deal. But yesterday when I went to Starbucks and I got a cake pop, they gave me 2 extra cake pops. Isn't that nice? I was like, 2 more days of pops. Alright, there's no one here anymore. I know that. There is. I have someone here. My mother's here. Going to Menards. I love Menards. Honestly, Menards, they have everything. Menards makes me want to own a house. Because it's so nice. You get a new sink, you get new cabinets, you get new everything. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just meditate about it. Then I could go to Menards and buy a new sink and buy new cabinets. And I could get new floors. Alright. This video has been brought to you by a living being who thinks, who breathes, who exists for another day. You all have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow. And tell me, what are you most thankful for? What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for everything. Remember, la vida es comida. Ay. Go to Menards, go to Menards, go to Menards. Have a great evening and enjoy your day tomorrow. I hope you don't have to drive too far. I don't have to drive anywhere. Don't be jealous. It's time for me to go. Goodbye.